Today I'm going to advocate. I just stopped here to add supers if they needed it. And I thought I would just scan the tree line. Swarms usually go for the closest tree. And then I saw some bees flying over here. So here's a decent swarm. If I can find the queen, I'm going to put her back in the hive she come from. I'll leave her in a cage. She can sit there for a week and think about her actions. I'm going to look for the queen and then I'll give you an update. So about 10 minutes later, I took this foundation and I laid it down here, and I kept swiping handfuls of bees onto the foundation, and then I would look for the queen. And she's easy to find when she has a blue dot on her. So she's last year's queen. And it will be easy. I have the lids on the hives labeled. I know who this breeder is. There may be only one or two here with the blue dot. So it's going to be real easy to find. I gave them 4 frames of honey there. I think I'll just set that on the hive she came from for honey super. Tear down any cells, put her back in, and they'll make an extreme amount of honey. I did it last year. It works really well. So I'm going to leave her on the top of this while I go look for the hive she come from. And hopefully this will collect the rest of the swarm, because it's getting harder and harder to get the bees off the tree. They're right close to the trunk. And I don't think there'd be any virgins in there. I'll know as soon as I look through the hive that she comes from. So there's one that didn't get away. They're pretty happy to have their mama. I'll just leave them here and they can find her. Gotta go to work. The first hive I opened, I'm pretty sure I have my hive that's swarmed. A couple cells, I've tore down a couple more. But this is interesting. A lot of the drones have white eyes. There's a lot of drones in this hive with white eyes. I'm not sure what that means, but I wouldn't want... I gotta find out what this means, because I wouldn't want these drones. I couldn't imagine they can fly. They can't see. But I wouldn't want them mating with any other queens. Not sure I want her genetics to carry on either. So I'll tear down these cells, I'll put her back, look at what this means. There's a lot of drones here, it's not just one or two. It's been about 10 minutes. I've went through the hive, tore down, I think, about 4 cells. None had hatched, none was close to hatching. And the swarm, they've found their queen. I don't know what to think about that queen because of those white-eyed drones. I don't really have the equipment to move a swarm. All I can do is kind of hope they collect in this box. I don't have a lid or a bottom board. So I'm hoping they all settle down. They just left the tree. I'm hoping they win the box here nicely. I'll carry them over and I'll leave her in that cage. There's a lot of brood in that other hive. There's like 10 frames of brood. Of course they won't go anywhere. They're queens in a cage. So when I put this box on with these bees and the bees that are already over there and the brood that's to hatch, they should make a few boxes of honey pretty quickly. I'll let them gather up here. I can't imagine if I take this over, would they follow me? I doubt it. I'll leave her here and maybe they'll settle in. I've carried the box over and I put the queen in a cage. She's in there. Everybody was happy to see her return. And what's going on with my camera? So everybody was happy to see her come back. And bees that are still circling over there are starting to make their way this way. So I think I'll leave the lid off. I should have maybe left her on top. I'll leave it like this for a minute and see what happens.